TBD starts now.
Welcome back, listeners, to another exciting episode of TBD with JB and JB. I am JB. Next to me is...
JB.
Oh, what do you know? I know some of you probably assumed that was coming, but we have had a lot of guests on of late. In fact, it could have been just a completely different person that introed the whole thing. Do you think people, after they hear the intro music, because we have that weird robot voice,
Right,
that they don't really know who's going to start talking the next time? Because even you and I kind of switch it up sometimes.
That's true. You never know who's going to start.
That's weird.
It's just kind of whoever comes in the room with the most energy, I guess.
Yeah, or, whoever has the gun on the other person.
That's true. I do have a gun on me right now.
Yeah, well, you always get to do the intros. I was feeling a little fed up. Got to do what I got to do.
Yeah, well, he takes over like that.
Mm-hmm. And just to be clear, I know some people, like these mics, pick up certain sounds weird. I said gum, in case anyone's curious. Like, I know some people might be concerned that I might have like a firearm aimed at my cotangent. And I do not. That would be rude. What I did is I stuck him with lots of gum, and it kind of slows him down, so I can do the intro just a little bit faster than he can. It's a dirty trick, I know, but I got to do what I got to do. So if you hear any gum noises or gun noises throughout the course of this episode, I'd just like to apologize in advance.
Well, we are in the barrio.
Yeah.
So gun noises are not uncommon.
Yeah, a lot of people don't realize that the ballroom is located in the barrio,
as they say.
Yeah, as I've heard one other person say it like that.
JB, what do you got for me?
As we know, this is the 9th and final episode of Season 1 for TBD. I know it seems like a weird number to end it on. You see a lot of 8s out there, some 10s, occasionally a 12, but you never really see any odd numbers. So me and my cotangent decided, 9 episodes is enough to, get our feet wet. Dip our toes, maybe our ankles, maybe our cankles up into the water. I have cankles, I admit it. I mean, I'm a thin guy.
We don't judge you for your cankles,
Yeah,
JB.
that's why I wear pants all the time and high
He
socks.
hides his cankles.
I wear vertical striped socks.
But you know what you don't see is this guy ever falling down. His cankles are so sturdy that they keep him upright.
I'm like a tree. Just like a big, strong, sturdy tree.
So yeah, I like the odd numbers.
So we decided,
in that an odd number, I like that.
I know there are going to be people that are going to be out there that are like, hey, you've done 2 minisodes. That's an even number of minisodes. And I'm like, hey, that's a completely different thing. Those are TBD minisodes. So
those are not in line with this.
Yeah, we are unaffiliated with TBD minisodes. We don't condone anything that they say. Their beliefs are not our beliefs. Like, that's not how this works. There is TBD podcast with JB and JB, and then there's TBD minisodes, I believe, maybe also with JB and JB. We're kind of in litigation right now about reclaiming. I mean, it's obviously just they took our title.
There's a lot of people out there fighting for the TBD name.
Yeah,
so.
they're just one of the fish out there chomping at the bit.
It's just the little fish trying to catch a ride with the bigger fish.
Yeah. So we're on the last episode. We are unaffiliated with TBD minisodes, and that's really the 2 big facts I wanted to get out there at the beginning. And now we are free to move on to our season finale of TBD with JB and JB.
Our scheduled programming, so to speak.
Yeah, exactly. I know a lot of you are thinking, hey, when's the next season going to start? How many episodes is the next season going to be? You know what? Don't worry your pretty little head about it. And or your ugly head. I'm sure we have ugly listeners out there who enjoy.
Come on, JB. Come on, JB.
Hey, whoa, hey, listen. I'm not saying that I think that they're ugly. I think they're beautiful people. They're listening to our podcast. But I know my brother Jason definitely listens to this, and that guy's got this weird thing. I don't want to bring it up because he's pretty sensitive about it. But let's just say he's got a thing.
Okay.
And one time he grew just a mustache. I will mention
that sounds awesome.
I will. Well, you'd think so. You'd be like, hey, yeah, mustache. Just a mustache. That's got to seem cool, right? Very difficult to pull off just a mustache. I'm talking about no goatee.
No chin status?
No soul patch.
No, like just the mustache.
Just the stash. It looks a little creepy.
Now, you did the handlebar motion.
I didn't. I didn't. I was more of a lazy.
I see. So it did not
gesture.
have a handlebar situation.
No, that might have been okay if he.
Now, was he
fuller.
one of the ones who kind of put some beeswax in it, makes it a little long, and they kind of curl it out, and it kind of sticks off their face?
No. He just kept it at. I guess the appropriate description would be like puberty length.
I see.
So it just like.
So you think he's going to be offended by this?
I hope he's mildly offended, but my main goal is just to ensure that he never grows it again. And if
then
that's all,
you'll lambast him on the podcast.
Exactly. A lot of people out there think that we do this podcast for our own enjoyment, but really the only reason I'm doing this is specifically so I can get this message out there.
Deep down, you've been doing this the whole time.
Yeah. Building up to this moment.
Wow,
it's like a season. It's season finale. You know,
it's
you
pretty revealing. I feel like we can just end it now and.
Yeah, but I think we got a little more. We should do. I mean, it would be rude to the fans.
Blown me away.
Yeah,
and
well,
I don't
there's
know
more
if
to
I'm going
come.
to be able to continue.
There's more to come, my friend.
Well, I guess lay it on me, JB.
So we're gonna jump right into questions. You know, we've never really done this before.
Oh, some questions by the fans, or
well, I mean, yes and no.
okay.
As you well know, we have not technically released any of these episodes yet.
Oh, okay, right.
The people who are now listening to this, they have like a catalog of TBD episodes.
I guess I'm not familiar with the timeline.
Yeah, okay, well let me break it down to the listeners, break it down to you.
Okay.
I know a lot of the listeners out there don't know this, but my good friend JB here is actually a 4-dimensional creature. He exists in time and space. His temporal perception is a lot different from the rest of ours. That's why he doesn't quite grasp. So let me break it down for a 3-dimensional creature.
Please do this. Please do this.
Not a problem. As we're recording this, right, we haven't released it to the public yet.
Now, see that I just can't grasp.
Yeah, I understand that you exist in every moment of your existence simultaneously. So for you, we've recorded every episode.
Okay.
We've already released them all.
Right.
We've probably received all the accolades we're going to get for it.
True.
The movie deals, the
spin-off sitcom.
Yeah, the sitcom, the guest appearances, that short-lived Fox comedy that we're going to have that will eventually be picked up by Netflix. I mean, you've already done all that, and simultaneously, you know, you haven't done all of that.
Right, so that's why I'm just confused.
So that's
I guess.
why, see, yeah, I'm just
But
trying to...
it's okay. I'll just live in the moment like I always do.
Yeah, you try your best.
I'll just keep talking.
Yeah, it sounds like a plan. Even though you technically know everything that you or I will ever say.
Right, well, that doesn't stop me from actually having to do it.
Yeah, well, I mean, it almost makes you a slave to having to do it. You know, when you think about it.
Yeah, because I think about it.
Yeah.
And I know things are going to happen. I'm like, man, that's coming up.
That would be...
But, you know, at the same time, I'm trying to live in the moment.
Right. So sometimes you forget, like,
it's just why I'm so troubled.
A little surprise there.
But this podcast turned out to be my outlet.
Oh, well, that's good. I'm glad that you had this predetermined outlet in your existence.
You know, when I was looking upon the future from when I was a small baby,
right,
I saw many trials and tribulations, and then I saw the outlet for those. So... got to go through it to get to it.
That's actually been your life motto.
That's true.
Time. Yeah,
that's true. That's my mantra.
Yeah, I hear you say that pretty much all the time. It's strange that this is the first time you've said it on the podcast.
Well, it's a self mantra, so I keep it.
Yeah,
to myself.
like you just basically say it to yourself at all times. Over and over again.
Right. This is the first time that you've brought it up. On air.
Yeah, a situation.
You know, because I don't typically bring it up.
Well, I know you're a very humble person.
People ask me what time it is, and I just show them my cell phone.
Yeah, like,
and I don't know what the numbers mean.
Yeah, well, you don't want to make it seem like you're show offy, like, oh, I know the time and you don't. Let me show you the thing where
that
you
tells the time.
Can get the information.
Right.
You know, it's like the old adage: if you give a man a fish, he eats for a day.
Perfect explanation.
But if you give him the business prowess and education to become a business owner, he can eventually take out a loan and open up like a fishery, or maybe even go into a completely different business. Maybe he's got skills in accounting, or he wants to open up some sort of a bar. You know, maybe he's got dreams. He wants to go be a painter. You know, whatever.
Every man has dreams.
Yeah, whatever he wants to do. That's the saying.
So you got to go through it to get to it.
Yeah, go through it to get to it. I think yours is a little faster to say than the other one. I think it's going to become real popular.
Well, I don't want that to happen.
Yeah. Ooh. No. Well, I got
bad news for me. Well, I already know what happens.
Ooh.
But I'm going to keep it to myself.
Okay.
And let you find out on your own.
Oh wow. So I'll be surprised.
Right.
I appreciate that.
Yeah. And shall we never speak of this again?
Okay. Yeah. I'm just gonna. People out there, please do not put this on T-shirts. Don't post about it. Don't make it like one of those weird hashtag things that I'm not really sure exactly how it works.
I find out how that turns out.
Okay. Hopefully none of them do that.
I was talking about the hashtag revolution.
Oh,
Yeah.
Did you say hashtag revolution?
I did. You noticed in the last couple of years,
Yeah.
this thing that used to be a symbol to talk about numbers,
Yeah.
now
yeah.
is like this phenomenon.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
it used
yeah.
to be like used for tic-tac-toe.
Yeah, and to get into gate codes and to use on a touch-tone phone, you know,
Right,
and that was a
right,
menu
right.
button.
And now
It's like a thing that they talk about on the TV and on the radio, and everywhere you go, you're constantly seeing the symbol. You see the symbol, people saying hashtag.
yeah, the number sign.
It's incredibly annoying.
So please, whatever you do not just flood my good friend JB with hashtag gotta go through it to get to it. Don't
Please
do that.
don't do that.
I mean, he already knows what's going to happen, so just please don't do that to him. Please don't make him have to have that in his future. So anyway, moving on to the next topic, which I'm sure you already know about.
Oh, yes.
Yeah,
But
we're
please
gonna-
tell me and the listener.
Yeah, we're gonna go through questions. Like I've listened to like 10 minutes of one of our episodes, so I feel like I've got a pretty good idea of the ebb and flow, the minute details of our podcast. So I know
The finer things.
Yeah, the nitty and the gritty. And I'm ready with a slew of questions.
So these questions are for me then.
well, I mean,
These are general questions for JB and JB.
yeah, these are
Okay.
for both of us. I figure we
let's-
should both answer it. I'll
Of
read them
course.
out loud.
Let's hear them. Let's hear number one.
Okay, so
Let me. Let's hear hashtag one.
hashtag number one.
Yeah. No, you can't say number one.
Oh,
It's
well,
just
what is it weird to do hashtag? Can we just do hashtag number sign?
we should.
Can
We should
up
start a hashtag number sign. Yes.
Yeah. Please do that if you guys are listening. Do that one. Don't do the other one, because then everyone will know of my good friend JB's mantra. Okay, so here comes the questions. Are you
All
ready?
right,
Are you
I'm ready for
Now
this.
keep in mind these are all tailor-made to suit each episode.
Okay.
Question number one. Would you rather fight a vampire, a mummy, or a werewolf? And why?
I'd rather fight a mummy
Mm-hmm.
because I feel like they would be the most easily defeated. Because vampire, you have to get to the heart with a wooden stake.
Mm-hmm.
Werewolf, really, it's an animal, and essentially animals don't quit until they're dead.
Right.
A mummy, I feel like I could take out its leg, or bash it in the center, or hit it in the head, or a number of ways to kill it. More options, I think.
I'm not sure if you can dispose of a mummy so easily.
Well, I'm certain that just because you take out its legs, it's not going to stop. But at least you have the advantage now that it does not have legs.
Let me ask you a question. Have you ever seen the movie The Mummy?
Are we talking about a 15-story sand mummy, or just like a skeleton wrapped in, bandages?
Let's say he's a mummy.
Are we talking about spirits? I guess a mummy is a spirit, right?
He's like
Embodied in a skeleton.
I feel like he's an undead creature, like
Okay,
more
well,
powerful than a zombie.
More powerful than a zombie.
It definitely has sentience.
I see.
And I feel like in order to defeat them, you have to destroy something that's
The essence
tying
of them.
like tying them, like a phylactery kind of thing.
What about you?
I would fight a vampire, but then before I defeated him, I would force him to turn me into a vampire.
I see.
And then I would destroy him and then rule the vampire kingdom.
So I'm assuming you'd be fighting the ruler of the vampire kingdom? Or...
Oh, well, absolutely. Yeah, well, I mean, you keep what you kill in the vampire kingdom.
So vampire is the way to go.
Yeah.
Now,
well,
what episode does this relate to?
a lot of people might think that this is obviously tied to the episode about Game of Thrones, because that chick with red hair in it, you remember her?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, they can make that correlation right there. But in all actuality, this one is tied a little closer to our episode about that thing that happened.
Oh, okay, right.
That thing that took place.
that thing that thing that happened over there.
Yeah, and then that time I went to
To that place.
yeah, and dressed as a Joker.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's several episodes.
Is that? Yeah. Well, I mean,
Well, that's fine. We're a broad spectrum here.
Yeah, exactly.
So what's up with the next question? So
Okay.
are you? Hold on.
Uh huh.
Are you basically saying that I'm not going to be able to defeat a mummy?
Well, I mean, I think maybe you could take a mummy, but I find it
I feel like you said you're going to kill this vampire, become a vampire, take over the whole vampire kingdom, and I was just like, oh, I'll take out this mummy's legs.
we each function on our own level.
Okay, well,
we
you-
do what
you
we can
have
with
this
the tools
planned out.
available to us. My concern is I think maybe you're underestimating the mummy.
I guess I was.
I feel like that's the difference between the two of us, is because I already know how powerful the vampire. I mean, if you look at what I'm wearing right now, I have a sash with several sharpened wooden stakes on
I
them.
see. I guess I didn't notice that.
Yeah, and I have this garlic. Like, if you look here, I just have kind of garlic.
Oh, just
spread out.
hanging there.
Surprised you didn't notice.
Well,
the
you know,
aroma.
I mean, I noticed it, but it's so common that I didn't question it. I
Yeah.
was like, oh, it's just JB, you know,
Yeah,
it was
that's what
regular attire.
Yeah, that's what everyone thinks I smell
Right.
like. And then if you
And then
sit
the
like-
one time you're dressed like the Joker, oh, JB's not wearing his regular clothes.
That's weird.
Now you're back, regular clothes. And
Yeah.
just, well,
I've got this chainmail
yeah,
around
you're,
my
you're
neck.
good. Oh, you got to protect your neck. Why didn't you choose werewolf?
Just too easy.
Too easy. So is that the easiest answer?
Well, if you look here, I have the silver knife,
I see.
and then I got this gun on my waist. I mean, I
Uh-huh.
know you've seen this before.
Your gum gun.
Yeah, my gum gun.
Yeah.
It actually shoots silver gum.
It's editable by humans, but
Yeah,
not by
exactly.
werewolves.
Well, I still don't recommend.
You can just eat the bullets.
Yeah.
You don't have to get shot by
Exactly. Exactly.
one. Right. Okay, so is there another question?
We got one more question.
Okay.
I think it's pretty obvious which episode this one ties to.
All right.
What kind of zombie apocalypse would you like to survive in?
Are you talking about what type of zombie?
Like, what kind of apocalypse? Like, would you want like a zombie apocalypse?
Oh, what type of apocalypse?
A nuclear apocalypse.
Okay, I
a
would like to
resource drained apocalypse.
That's exactly what I was just about to say. Resource drained.
Ooh.
That's the one that's actually most likely to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Or one where all of the ice in the whole world melts and a majority of the land gets taken over by water, and then everyone's fighting for the last bits of land left.
And
which is essentially a resource drain.
Right.
Would
Would you have mutated at this point, and would you have gills? And
No,
like,
no, no.
webbed
I want to.
hands?
I want to be there for this experience.
I see.
Now, hoping that I'm living
Well, maybe
inland enough to not
yeah.
be washed away, or have enough experience to become some sort of sea person.
Would you, if the opportunity were to arise,
Okay.
if you became a sea person,
Right.
how would you feel about maybe you get your hands on like a big cruise ship, right?
Okay, like a tanker or something.
Right. And you go around, would you go around maybe like recruiting people, be like, hey, come on board, we're going to go find dry land? It's gonna be
No, no, no.
awesome.
I would rather build a community or a sustainable environment on top of the water.
I see.
And I mean, land is great too, but everyone's going to want that. Let's,
Okay, let's say you did that.
Okay.
And you grew older.
Okay.
Like you became an older man, and now you're just kind of focusing on making contraptions and whatnot.
So am I not ruling the sea island, the garbage island, if you will?
At this point, I think you've passed it along to
Okay.
younger men.
So I've passed it along. I've, given
Yeah.
over the torch.
Yeah.
And now I'm just in my older days.
Yeah. You're just sitting there
Okay.
being older.
Right. That's fine.
What happens is your daughter figure,
Okay.
maybe it's your daughter.
Maybe.
Yeah. And then her daughter has like a tattoo on her back.
Okay.
And you're like, oh, this seems like it points to dry land.
At that point, would I want to go to the
Well,
dry
hold on.
land?
There's more. There's more.
Okay.
So simultaneously, a mutant arrives in your trash camp.
Right.
He actually just got finished saving your daughter.
From bandits or
Possibly bandits, maybe
Okay.
like a sea creature.
Or maybe she was fishing or
yeah,
she
exactly.
fell off the dock.
Yeah, there was something that happened. So he shows up in camp. He's just looking to trade. He's got a lot of dry land on him.
He's got some dirt.
He's got some dirt. He's got pepper, and he is performing his day-to-day activities. And someone approaches him. He's like, "Hey, you're a handsome person. Would you like to impregnate my daughter? There's no real healthy people
Now,
around this
I am
area."
gonna
No.
be-
Well, no. This is just happening in the town simultaneously as you are studying this map
Right.
on this young girl's back.
Okay.
So you're there, and all this is happening. The mutant gentleman is
Now
like,
he's everyone knows he's a mutant?
no, absolutely not. I mean,
But
not
I
really-
know he's a mutant.
Well, no one knows he's a mutant.
Okay, so
because
I
that would
don't know he's a mutant.
No, not at this point.
Okay, so he's
You're
just a dude who showed up
he's just a guy.
and he's trading.
He's just a guy.
And he happens to have dirt and paper.
Right.
Excuse me. Paper.
That's right. That's how they say
Now-
it in the future.
Someone alerts me to this.
No.
Or I happen to overhear a conversation. Or
Not yet.
I'm-
Not yet. Not
Okay.
at this point. You're
All right.
jumping. I see. Once again, you exist in all times at
I-
once.
yeah,
So you
well-
already think we're 5 minutes ahead in
Okay.
the conversation.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
The listener doesn't know this.
What happens is he gets caught. Someone grabs him. He's like, "Hey, why aren't you trying to have sex with my daughter and impregnate her? What's wrong with you?" And he grabs him, and his ear slides open. He's got gills. He's a mutant. Now word spreads. He gets
Okay.
put in a cage.
Oh, wow.
So you're like, I think I'm gonna go talk to this guy.
Okay.
Because he had a bunch of dry land.
All right.
So you talk to him, but he's not really talkative.
Okay.
Doesn't want to give you any info.
Well, that sucks.
And you go back saddened,
My sparked interest of dry land has been
temporarily snuffed out.
Yeah,
You're like,
unfortunately.
my balloon that I've been building is, why am I even doing this?
Where am I going to even go? There's nowhere. I got to go somewhere. Can't
Yeah,
just
where-
float into the ocean.
Yeah, that'd be terrible.
That was once where I was at, and then I built all this.
Exactly.
Why would I leave?
But then you guys get attacked by some gassers, some people that use gas-powered vehicles.
Right, and they are thirsty for gas.
They're thirsty for the gasoline.
Yes,
And
and
drug.
these are gas-powered vehicles that work upon a gigantic rig,
Yeah, there's a
'Cause there's no
there's a-
land.
Yeah, but there's a large rig,
and they
then
drive
there-
cars on it.
Yeah, they
and
drive
inside
cars
of it.
around and motorcycles.
Okay.
They're very, very wasteful of the gasoline that they so very much want, as so many people are. I don't know if you remember in episode 2, we actually brought up
We
gas
did talk about
and water wastage.
Water wastage in Mad Max, and in this world that we're living in now, there's too much water.
Yeah, too much water.
Yeah.
It's terrible.
So maybe you should make a water-powered vehicle and waste fucking water so we can get some of our land back.
yeah, boom.
I just got attacked by
Yeah,
gassers.
you just got attacked by gassers, and the mutant is sinking into your death water. Like you have a death water area.
Oh, this is like oil-filled water.
Yeah, or
it's
something like
poisonous
that.
water,
Yeah,
like
you don't want to be in this
ruined by when the apocalypse happened,
Uh-huh.
lots of chemicals and stuff got
Oh, yeah.
released
It was
from the ground into the water.
Yeah.
So this is a death zone.
water. Yeah, you don't want to be in
Yeah,
there.
well, I would save him.
Well, you don't have to because your daughter saves them.
Oh well, she's a nice girl.
Yeah, she's
bit
a good
of a
girl.
rascal.
Yeah, you raised her well.
Okay.
All right, you've hit
Right.
you've hit the power on the blimp. It takes a little time for the blimp to
Now
prep.
this is a gas-powered blimp.
Oh yeah,
or-
yeah, it's air powered. There's
Oh,
a big.
it's like hydrogen or something.
I'm not sure. I mean, you're the scientist in the situation. Like,
Well,
if
I
you
figured
feel
out
like
some sort
hydrogen
of
would be
new-
the best, that
you
would
know,
probably
I've
be-
made some sort of new fuel that runs this balloon.
That's good.
But I've chosen not to tell anybody
Well, you
about
don't
it.
want to. Like that.
Well,
sucker gets out.
if it gets out, it should get out to build all kinds of new machines that run off of this sustainable fuel, and then we
Mm-hmm. Right.
can kind of rebuild this economy or
But-
the world economy, if
Yeah.
you will. But no, I'm not going to tell anybody about it.
No. Well, I mean, you want to until you figure out how to get a good copyright on that.
True. Well, I
and-
got to go to the copyright office.
Yeah, and that's like
It's a ways away.
That's several miles down under the water. There you are, prepping your blimp, and you're inside of the blimp, just ready to go, and you're just waiting for them to come back. But oh no, what just happened? Something fell and severed the line that holds the blimp in place. So now the blimp's starting to rise, right as the trio of your daughter, this mutant, and the young daughter with the tattoo on the back, daughter
So
figure.
I'm
daughter
floating.
figure.
I'm about to float away.
Yeah, you're floating
without
away.
them.
It had already happened. It's happening right now.
I can't get out. Is it too late for me to jump out?
Oh no, your old bones couldn't handle that kind of jump.
Well, I could jump into the water and then swim.
I don't think you're capable. You never
Or
learned how to
is
swim.
it above the death water?
It's right above the death water.
So if I can't, it's like the death water's on one side.
Also, there's marauders riding around that water. Too.
Okay. So what am I gonna do, JB?
I don't know. I
JB,
don't know.
this is. I didn't expect this at all, JB.
It's a rough situation. So there you are in this blimp.
But it's floating away, right?
Yeah, it's floating away.
So it's definitely too late to jump out
oh,
now.
you're done. It's
Hundreds
done.
of feet, or
Yeah. Oh, it's,
man.
God knows how high. I'm not here to measure things, but
Okay.
you're too high to jump off and
All
then
right.
swim back. It's a sad
So
situation.
I'm just watching.
So that's the situation.
Okay.
All right. Now here's the follow-up question.
Ask me.
Your character, Sticky Axe Hands,
Hot and ready sticky
Hot
axe
and ready
hand.
sticky axe
Okay.
hands. I'm sorry. I'm good friends with them, so I kind of sometimes I drop off the
Right.
beginning.
Well, I'd like it if you said his full name.
No, I mean for the people out there, obviously they need to know. So hot and ready, sticky axe hands. His magnetic powers, are they strong enough to say pull him up several floors? Like if he were to aim them at something metal that was
I would say maybe 10 feet.
10 feet max?
Yeah.
Okay.
Now you're talking about vertically
Yeah, vertically, like
pulling my whole weight.
yeah, upwards.
Not just a piece of metal from 10 feet can come to me.
Right,
Like
exactly.
me, I have to get my full weight
Up to
against the most amount of gravity.
yeah, like a metal ceiling situation.
Right. I would say about 10 feet.
10 feet?
Yeah.
Okay, well that answers my question.
What's the question?
That was it.
Well, yeah, about 10 feet.
Okay, cool.
Okay,
All right, fantastic. And I think everyone knows exactly where that question came from.
Right.
That was from the episode in which we discussed how to be a superhero.
That was one of our best.
Oh, it was a good one.
It's a fan favorite.
So I guess to answer the same question, because that's what I'm supposed to do, my favorite apocalypse would involve, let's see here, 87.25% of the planet's populace being instantaneously and randomly wiped out.
Now, tell me in detail how they would be wiped out.
Okay, this is super easy. It's going to be relatively painless. I mean, there'll be a little pain. What happens is every nerve in your body basically sets on fire. But not like a quick fire. It's like a very slow fire.
That sounds terrible.
Yeah, it's actually quite
Now, let me ask you
quite
this.
terrible.
When there is about 13% of the population left,
Mm-hmm.
what are they going to do with all of the dead bodies
Right. Well, here's
and all the jobs that are no longer filled?
Well, the job market's going to be looking real good at that point, I think.
Every one of those people could have a job, and there'd still be 70% of the jobs left unfilled.
It's true. So there's going to have to be some Starbucks that will probably have to be shut down.
I think 70% of the world economy will have to be shut down.
I'm thinking more like
Well, this is a apocalypse.
Like
you
80
did call it an apocalypse.
87.25. I'm thinking more like that percentage.
Well,
of
there's
the
going to be
economy.
a small percentage of people that are jobless that don't die.
Right.
Okay, so those jobless people would then now be getting jobs.
Yeah, or they'll
And also you gotta
keep
think
on,
about-
stay on welfare maybe.
Well, the welfare offices probably would not exist anymore
No,
because.
I'm thinking welfare will probably
So now let me
still
ask you: are we
stick in here.
selecting certain
no.
people? Is it just totally random?
It's completely random. It could be you or I or both,
Right,
but probably
so
not
you
either.
could like really important businessmen and lots of really wealthy people could just drop dead, and
Oh, yeah.
like homeless people could be the ones that stay alive.
Correct.
And then also you got to think about this: 13% of the population is now going to be reproducing.
Yeah.
So there's going to be a very rapid rate of more people being made,
Right.
which is good actually because then you can fill those jobs back up, but rebuild that.
Yeah, because that's what we need. Is
Well, it's
more
it's-
of the same. in the
Well,
system
you'd
in
be in an
which-
apocalypse where
Yeah.
everyone would be struggling. Wouldn't
Yeah.
you want to be better off?
No.
In an apocalypse situation, is there no going back ever? Is once you get to apocalypse, you can't rebuild?
I
Or
think
you don't want to rebuild?
Well, I think when you rebuild at that point, it is going to be a fundamentally different system that is created.
Well,
I don't
wouldn't
think
it be
it's gonna
better?
Well, you can say that. It'll be different, potentially better. It'll probably be better in some ways, worse in others, as all imperfect systems are.
So where do you fit in?
Oh, I will be
If you live.
Yeah, I'll be king of the vampires at that point.
So a small percentage of the people will be vampires.
Well, I'll have killed the only other vampire at that point, the master vampire,
I see.
after I made him turn me into a vampire.
Right. And there's no other vampires besides that one?
Well, obviously not. I mean, you'd see him around, wouldn't you?
No, because they'd be at home sleeping.
You're a bit of a night owl, though, I think. I think you go out at night sometimes.
I
so.
go out at night sometimes.
Have you ever seen a vampire, walking around?
I guess maybe.
It's because it's just the one guy.
All right. Well, he doesn't live around here, so
No, he lives in Aspen.
well, we should go to Aspen.
Well, I'm going to have to.
Well, you are going to have to.
Or he's going to come to me. I mean, I don't know how this is going to work exactly.
Well, I know exactly how.
I
It's
know
gonna
you
happen.
know how it's going to work, but, I like to be surprised.
Right.
So I think this is a good time to
Take a little break?
Take a little breaky poo. Jay,
Is this going to be our last break of season 1?
No, we'll probably have one more, I think.
Okay.
Unfortunately, due to scheduling issues, my cotangent JB is going to have to step out.
That's a sad, sad day.
Yeah, he'll be back possibly for the last segment. I don't know. He's just got to go run a quick errand, like right in the middle of only the most important.
Well, I
podcast we're
told
ever
you,
doing, so But he
7
did-
months ago that
Yeah,
I
he
had
did-
this scheduled.
He did put in a PTO request
It's true.
specifically for the next 30 minutes about 10 months ago.
On that note,
Yeah, I will be right back. Apparently, as a super secret special surprise for everybody, there's going to be a guest, a random guest. I have no idea who they are. It just kind of was arranged without my knowledge. But there's going to be a very large sheet between us, and I'm going to try to figure out who JB set up for me. A lot of people don't know this, but whenever you take a PTO day in the podcast biz, or if you miss, you have to, it's like a substitute teacher thing, only you have to find your own substitute. So we have a substitute cotangent coming in, and should be good. I'm looking forward to it. JB, I guess you got to step out of here.
all right. See you later, guys.
Have a good one. And you the listeners, we're going to go on break, and we're going to be back with our special guest. We here at TBD want to let you folks know about a delicious place to stop by and get a pulled pork sandwich. Swing on down to 1506 Blanco Road. That's going to be near Fulton Avenue. You're going to go down to Fulton Avenue and take a left on Blanco. That's how I remember it. So come on down to see your pinkies. Get yourself a nice pulled pork sandwich. They got specials, very affordable pricing, and delicious food. Enjoy the rest of the show. And we are back with the season finale of TBD with JB and JB. I'm here with a large sheet in the ballroom. On the other side sits a random person, possibly a man, possibly a lady. I don't know. I was blindfolded. They were brought in, and we're gonna find out what's going on. So I guess let's get things open up. Why don't you introduce yourself there? Why don't you tell me what your name is there?
Hey JB, what's up? My name's Rob.
Oh, Rob. Okay, so we got a Rob in the building. It's a male. Okay. Well, Rob, it's good to have you here in the ballroom.
Oh yeah.
Is this your?
Well, I don't got much time.
Oh, I apologize. We'll keep this brisk.
Yeah, my buddy JB said go be on the podcast with JB, and I said fuck that. I don't got time for that. I gotta go to work.
Oh wow. Well, where do you work at?
I'm not telling you where I go to work.
Okay, all right. I apologize.
But I'm serving food to these idiots all day.
Oh, so you work in the food service industry?
Yeah, god damn it.
Oh, that's.
I did my morning shift. Now I gotta go back for my closing shift.
Oh wow. So they just gave you like a break to go get some food?
Well, I told them I had something to do for my friend JB.
Are you often scheduled all day like
Split
that?
shifts? Yeah, I like to do the split shift. I go on break and I get real drunk and high.
Well, that's good. It's always good to unwind.
Well, I like to serve my guests while I'm intoxicated.
Well, I mean, sometimes that makes for a better server.
I think I get lots of good tips.
Oh well, what's the average tip that you get?
I'd say I get about $5 a person.
Oh wow. Well, how big are the tabs generally?
Well, anywhere from $20 to $150. You know, I work at Chili's. All right.
Okay. Wow, Chili's. That's a nice place.
Chili's out on Days of Allah. You know, you've been there before, right?
I probably have at some point.
Yeah. Well, next time you go, ask for Rob.
All right, Rob. Well, I mean, are you gonna take care of me?
Yeah, I'll take care of you, JB. I'll take care of you real good, JB.
Oh, well, I appreciate that, Rob. Well, Rob, have you?
But you know what? I'm usually pretty pissed off while I'm at work, so you just got to catch me on a good day.
Oh, well, I understand it can be very frustrating.
Yeah, I really, I hate my job.
Oh, wow, that's terrible. Well, what's the worst part of your job, would you say?
Well, I'd say it's the kids. There's too many kids making noise and asking for ketchup. They always want ketchup.
Don't they have ketchup just at all the tables?
No, we don't
normally?
put ketchup at the tables anymore.
Oh, well, that seems...
You know what else? They got video games on the table, and you got to pay for it, but nobody tells the customer. They get it on the bill, and then everybody complains.
Oh, wow. Well, that does seem weird.
It's a trap, and I got to deal with the backlash.
Well, why okay, so he just keeps track of how many times they've played the game?
It's a flat fee to start playing. It costs like a couple bucks.
Oh, wow.
But the kid just says yes, and then starts, and then you get it on the bill.
So if you just hit any button on the console,
you just got to hit yes.
Yeah. There's a specific yes button?
There's a yes or a no.
So what kind of game is it?
I don't know. I don't fucking look at it. It's just games for stupid kids.
It's a video game that has 2 buttons.
No, man, it's a fucking touch screen, man.
Oh, it's a touchscreen game.
Yeah, it's like a smartphone. You know them phones that people be carrying around all the time? That's another thing I don't like about the Chili's. There's people on their phones all the time trying to take your order, and you're just talking on your Twitter and looking on your LinkedIn and all your dumb media apps.
I'm not really sure a lot of people use LinkedIn.
Everyone's always on LinkedIn while they're trying to order from a Chili's and they're trying to connect with business people. I don't like that.
They're checking in at the Chili's because that's where business gets done, I'm guessing.
I don't know. That's not our motto.
Is that not? I thought that was your guys' motto.
No.
So I thought it was like Chili's, where business gets done.
I don't think so, but I'll tell them to make it that.
Yeah, that'd be. Do you have that
And
kind
then
of
I'll
pull?
tell them no more LinkedIn.
Yeah, you're getting
At
rid
the
of
same time, I'll get rid of LinkedIn, but it'll be where business gets done.
Oh, interesting. That's an interesting.
Yeah,
choice.
I got that kind of pull. I'll talk to the manager. He's my boy. Just make things happen. I just put pieces together.
So you do like puzzles. You like puzzles?
Yeah. Well,
Right. Have you ever done like those puzzles where like you make Big Ben and they're like slightly styrofoam and
I did one of those with the kids, man. I've done that with the kids. Yeah, the kids like the weird puzzles.
Oh, do you volunteer?
Yeah, I volunteer down at the hospital with the sick children. I go and I make 3D puzzles and we play Scrabble and checkers and tic-tac-toe and Connect Four and all those cool games.
How often?
No video games down at the children's hospital.
Right. That's bad for them. It's gonna stunt their mental development.
That's right.
Like how often do you win?
I win every time. I never let those kids lose. You got to always have a challenge, I'm real challenged, and it's made me the person that I am today. And I got to challenge those kids at checkers. Never let them beat me at checkers.
How old are the kids?
They're about 3 or 4, 5, 6, 7 years old. They're real young.
Oh, okay. So they really haven't developed to the point where they'd be able to beat you, would you?
No, I'd say that they're trying their hardest, and they could beat me one day. They just got to practice, and they just can't let them win.
I gotta say, you sound vaguely familiar. Are you Rob, the former checkers chess puzzle champion?
That's right. I don't like to tell people about it, but I was a professional checkers / Connect 4 / 3D puzzle builder.
Oh wow! And
I won the 1996 World Championship.
Yeah, I heard in '97 and '98 though, like you came in dead last.
Well, in '97 they held the contest in England, and I just I couldn't control myself when I was overseas.
Everything's done on the other side over there, so I can see where that could be.
Right, I just couldn't handle the British lifestyle.
Okay, well that's
why I came back to live in my home state.
So I gotta say, Rob, it kind of sounds like you're just showing up at these children's hospitals so that you can beat small children at a game that you
I'm
failed
angry
at.
about the Chili's, so
okay.
I go to the hospital and I beat up on the little kids.
Oh, you beat them up?
Well, in checkers.
Oh, emotionally.
Yeah.
Like
Don't let them win. You gotta not let them win.
Do you ever talk shit to the kids?
No, I'm not vulgar. I just beat them at the games, but I hit on the hot nurses too.
Oh, that's nice.
But they don't like me.
Oh, okay.
They say I should let the kids win, and I say, no, fuck that. And then they say, hey, don't say that. You're saying that right in front of the kids. And I said, fuck those little kids. And then they said, you gotta go, man. So I'm going to go back and apologize, and then hopefully I can go back and play the games again.
Well, that would be nice.
Yeah, really, that's my only thing I get to do that I like, and I'm always at the Chili's, and people are on the LinkedIn and playing the video games and complaining about the bloomin' onion that they don't have because they didn't go to Outback. And I can just go to the children's hospital, and that's all I get, And JB, he asked me to come on the podcast, and I said, JB, I got to go to the children's hospital. That's what I do. I'm a split shift. But I'll do it for you, JB. You're my only friend.
Oh, so he's the only friend that you have?
Yeah, JB's my only friend.
That's terrible. Well, do you listen?
Nobody likes me because I'm too aggressive.
Well, you seem pretty passive to me. I mean, you've only yelled at me the entire time, so that's not so bad.
I've never seen anything like it in here.
Yeah, it's pretty. I mean, the ballroom is state of the art.
Oh, you guys call it the ballroom?
Yeah, that's what this place.
That's kind of weird.
Well, I don't see why. This is where we do our dance.
Well, Rob thinks it's weird. Thinks ballrooms are weird.
Are you not? Have you never danced before?
I don't dance. Rob doesn't dance. He just works at Chili's and plays checkers
with small children.
With children.
Okay. Well, Rob, are you a fan of the show?
Which show?
The show you're on right now.
The TBD?
Yeah,
the
TBD.
Yeah, I've never listened to the TBD.
Oh, that's...
JB said, listen to the TBD, man. It's pretty funny. And I said, JB, I got to go to work at Chili's, and I can't. I don't have time, JB.
How many days a week do you work at Chili's?
I work at Chili's every day, and every day I got a split shift, and I go to the children's hospital.
And except when you get thrown out.
Except when I get thrown out, and then I go be Rob on the street Rob.
Oh, well, it sounds like you're a man of many facets. Well, Rob, it's been great having you on.
Yeah, it was all right.
Here, do you mind if I just take the sheet down?
No, I'd prefer you don't take the sheet down.
Well, I got to take the sheet down.
All right, fine. Take the sheet down.
Let me just drop this sheet real fast. And oh my God, Rob, you don't have any eyes.
Oh yeah, I didn't mention that I was blind. That's why I told you not to drop the sheet.
Wow, I mean, like, it's not even that you're blind. Like, you
well,
are
missing,
and you don't even.
Well,
have like
usually I wear my sunglasses, but I took them off because it was a little hot in here and I was starting to sweat.
How do you work at a restaurant?
What are you talking about?
Food?
I work at Chili's every day. At Chili's, we don't need eyes to work at Chili's. I just walk up to the table and say, "Hey, what do you want to eat?" And they tell me, and then I tell the cook, and the cook makes it, and then some other asshole brings it to the table.
Wow, that's
And then I go to the children's hospital. I wear my big glasses. Nobody knows about my don't have eyes.
That's amazing.
They told me, don't show the kids you don't have eyes. They won't want to play checkers with you.
But they never warned you about, like, swearing in front of the kids?
Oh, well, they told me that, but I have a hard time not swearing.
I see. Have you ever shown your eyes to a kid because they got close to beating you?
Well, I think about it, but I'm not going to do that.
Well, that's good.
My manager at Chili's is telling me not to show my non-eyes to people, and so I've been listening to him, and he helps me a lot. He's my friend. He's my other friend. I don't really tell people he's my friend because he's my boss. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. You got to separate that line between business and real life.
But, I got to get going, man, so.
No, I understand. Well, Rob, it was great having you on the show.
All right. I don't know if I'll ever come back, unless JB asks me.
Well, maybe we'll have you come back and do a little co-tangent accent.
Oh, all right, man.
All right, well.
All right, they call you JB also, right?
I am.
All right, you're JB, and I'm going to leave, okay?
All right, Rob, you have a good one. Today's episode is brought to you by the Santikos Palladium 19 IMAX Theater. Please pick up after yourself, and if you have any complaints, do not direct them to anyone with the initials JB. And we are back.
Hey, folks, I'm back.
Yeah, JB has returned. We had a lovely time with our special guest,
Yeah, how
Rob.
was the special guest, Angry Rob?
Oh, Rob was great. He told us all about his lack of eyes and how he beats small children.
He doesn't beat.
various
He
games.
beats them at games. Yeah,
yeah.
He tells me about it.
Yeah. He likes. He enjoys it.
Did he talk about Chili's? I tried to tell him not to talk about Chili's.
He talked about Chili's a lot.
Oh, okay.
He's got a lot of qualms with.
Yeah, he hates his
Chili's.
job. I met him there at Chili's, and
yeah.
I just felt that, man, this guy needs a friend.
Well, you know what they say about Chili's.
What do they say about Chili's? Not to go there?
Well, it's where business gets done.
Oh, right.
So it's a good place.
So what's going on? This is our last segment, if you will.
This is the close up before we're done for a whole season.
I know, we're going to take a little break afterwards, right?
Maybe like a whole 6 days.
Maybe like 2 days more than that.
Or maybe just like a couple hours.
Who knows what'll happen?
Yeah, it's the sky's the limit here at TBD with JB and JB. But so I guess we can talk about what's on the horizon.
Okay, let's talk about that.
And for me, usually because I live in a city, it's usually buildings.
A city. Interesting.
Yeah.
You live in a city?
I do. I live in a city.
Okay. That's weird. I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's one of the few things like I try to keep secret.
Okay.
I don't live in a farm. I don't live in a cave or a hovel. I live inside of a city. Not a village or a town. It is an official city. I won't go into details about population or anything like that. It's a good city. It's a good sized city. Let me just say that.
What city is it, JB?
Well, I feel like if I let people know.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess you don't want to tell them.
Like people are going to show
live
up.
radio.
Yeah, they're going to show up
to your
in
city?
our city,
Right, okay.
looking for us, just running around like, hey, do you know where JB and JB are? Or just one of them. And then they'll be like, which JB? And they're like, JB. And they'll be like, oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, he's over there.
One.
Yeah,
that one's over there.
Okay, so we won't discuss any finer details about the
Yeah,
city.
but we are in a city.
Okay.
I live in a city.
Right,
Me.
you live in a city.
Yeah. I believe, live in the clouds, correct?
Well, I live in the cloud, so to speak.
Right.
But it's not like a tangible cloud.
Yeah, it's a sound cloud. You rented that space for SoundCloud
Right.
for TBD podcast.
Right. That's
and-
essentially my only function is
Yeah.
to create TBD.
Yeah. So you just live up there in the cloud because you've already paid for the space and we don't have it completely filled up yet. So you're
Right.
like, yeah, let me just
I just
pop up a cot.
hunker down right here.
Yeah. A lot of people who work hard sleep at the office.
That's right. I wish I could sleep at my office. When
Yeah.
I leave my
Yeah.
home and go to my office, I wish I could sleep there.
Yeah. A lot of people don't know this.
I was thinking about making a George Costanza-esque
Ooh.
bed underneath my desk.
Yeah,
Well,
well,
I got a new desk, which is very, very big,
Yeah.
and I could have a portion of it be a sleeping quarters.
Yeah. Would you do like little shelves down there?
No. I'd make it
lights?
as minimal as possible so no one
Okay.
would discover it. I don't want to get too
Interesting.
fancy with it.
Just have an alternative reason for each item down there. Like, why do
Right.
you have a light down here? It's like, well, if I ever drop a pin, or if sometimes I like to keep track of how clean my shoes are.
Right.
Things like that.
This is where I store things. I need a light for my storage area.
Yeah, it's an ultraviolet light, so it actually kills germs.
Yeah, don't
You
come
just
to
lie.
my desk and tell me how to clean.
Yeah, thanks, Greg, from accounting.
I can't stand that guy, dude.
Guy's a real dick.
I turned in my PTO request, and he was like, "Hey, can I look at that?" And I said, "Greg, why are you don't need to look at this, Greg. You're just from accounting. Get out of here, Greg."
He's like, hey man, I got moved over to HR like a year ago. Like, I don't
Greg from
understand why I
accounting,
got-
we don't need to hear it right now.
Okay, well, I'm sorry, guys. I'll just leave. Yeah, fucking hate Greg. God, that guy's the worst. Anyway, we're closing down shop here.
So what you were saying something about the horizon?
Yeah, like
The
on
future?
Yeah, we could talk about the future too. If you don't want to talk about horizons.
No, let's talk about horizons first.
Yeah, well, like I said, I see a lot of buildings.
Oh, right. You live in a city with
'cause
buildings.
I live in a city, so there's usually buildings on the horizon. Occasionally, like the sun will, like twice a day, the sun will be like in that general area.
But at that point, you're not looking towards the horizon because it hurts your eyes.
Oh, it's painful.
Yeah,
like
so you look away from the horizon.
Yeah, I
Okay.
think for most people. What about you, JB? What's sitting on your horizon usually?
Well, I don't typically see a horizon because of my interdimensional.
Right.
You
So
know,
you see every horizon at once.
Right. So I tend to not look towards the horizon.
Yeah.
I tend to focus on what I'm doing and
Right.
not focus on the horizons.
Well, it makes sense.
Yeah.
Makes sense. We could talk about the future of the cast, but you already know it. So I feel
Well,
like
we
that
should
would
still
be-
talk about it.
Okay, we are definitely coming out with more eps, some fat eps.
Fat Eps. I think our podcast could be called Fat Eps.
We're gonna have one of them called Fat Ep.
You know what I really want to do is the Batcast.
Bad cast.
Yeah, it's gonna be good.
That's gonna be awesome. Anyway, so as avid listeners know, we are planning on doing a series of one-shot podcasts to help name our podcast, or we'll figure it out as we go along. We're just gonna test the waters of different ideas we've had for names of our podcast, themes of our podcast, and we're gonna see how it works. They're all gonna be under the TBD paper pants
Umbrella, so
Yeah,
to speak.
yeah.
Pretty excited about the one-shot cast, though.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun. So I
It's
think
going to be lots of fun.
next season we're gonna kick it right into gear with some one shots, and that might be the
And we
all
should
of
have
next
some
season.
more guests, too. We need
Yeah.
to find people of the world,
Yeah,
basically.
Yeah, that's what I get a lot of. We want more guests. We want to see. We just want people, like just normal everyday people, who come in and give their thoughts, give their opinions about the
Right.
topic that we're speaking of for the day.
Sounds like a plan.
Yeah, I think it sounds like a great plan. So expect some of that. Expect pauses in what we're talking about. Expect me.
Oh, I cut out those pauses.
Oh, you do?
Oh, all of them.
Oh, wow. So expect a lot of
Really fast talking.
really fast talking. What about all of my rants about the decriminalization of heroin?
Oh, no, we left those in, definitely.
Oh, okay. So those are all still.
Oh,
in
yeah,
the thing?
yeah,
Okay, good. Because I
definitely.
wanted that message across. Because
Oh, no, it's gonna get there.
it's not harming anyone. There's a lot of studies out there that say it's actually kind of good for you. So
One heroin a day, right?
yeah, you take a heroin a day
Right.
and run with it.
Right. You got to work hard.
Yeah,
If you're gonna do it, though.
Yeah, you get strong. You get some armor. You get your weapon. You make sure it's sharp.
But you also have to be responsible for the majority of the heroin's items and
Yeah.
belongings and
Yeah, you got to be able to carry a lot of weight.
responsibilities and scheduling, all kinds of things.
Yeah, they're busy ladies, and we love them for it. I don't know, JB. I'm feeling like maybe
Are you ready to?
I'm feeling like I'm ready to fucking leave. Like I feel like this is like the last day of school.
Oh yeah, and you want to pretty much leave around lunch, basically.
Yeah, you're like, oh, lunch is here. I don't even want to eat this lunch. I just want to get the fuck out of here.
It's pretty much every Friday at the office.
Yeah. Or like every Thursday or Wednesday. Sometimes Tuesday, Monday also.
That's true. Sometimes
Yeah.
those days as well.
Yeah, all those days you want to go by lunch. I can't imagine wanting to stay past that on any day. Like, I even work on the weekends. So I feel like got to tack on Saturday and Sunday.
So pretty much 7 days a week.
Yeah, 7 days a week. You all know the feeling. You know, we want to get the fuck out. So yeah, I think we've had a great season.
It's been lots of fun.
We want to thank. I want to thank my cotangent, JB.
Oh, thank you, sir. And I'd also like to thank you, my cotangent, JB.
And of course, all of our amazing and not so amazing guests we've had along the way. Eric.
We love him, and we're thankful that he came.
Yeah, well, I mean, he's okay.
I'd like to thank Codename Flounder.
Oh, Flounder. Yeah.
She came on and interrupted a
us.
lot.
Yeah, she really kind of butted in a lot.
But it was a lot of fun having her on.
Yeah,
She's not welcome back.
Oh, absolutely not. The closest she will ever get to being on the show again is when her spawn has aged to the point of speaking.
I think there was one other guest.
Oh, yeah. And of course, Angry Rob coming in, saving the day today. There would not have been a season finale if he had not shown up and done that middle segment for us.
He really helped me out. You know, I sent him a letter, a couple weeks back.
Yeah, well, you don't really like email.
He hates smartphones.
Yeah,
so I sent him a letter. I said, hey, I really need you on this, Angry Rob, and he wrote me back and said he'd be here. So, on his split shift he came, and I really appreciate that. I just want to tell him again, thanks, Angry Rob. Yeah, if you ever listen, thanks.
He is a great man.
So on that note, you want to just give the streamers out there a nice
finalizing,
fantastic,
fim flam fim flum.
Well, I can't top that.
Goodbye.
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 If you want to follow us on Twitter, you can find me, JB, at TBD DOS Podcast, or JB, my cotangent, at Shibbly Bibbly Boop. Thanks for listening.